Hey guys, it's Jason here. With some deck revisions to that ice barrier deck I made the other day. Mainly I had a couple reasons for revising the deck. I was playtesting it and I was coming across things I just didn't like. Mainly consistency was too big. So I made it a little bit smaller. I mean, it's supposed to be a big slow deck, but like I said, I I just feel like I made a couple of mistakes with playtesting and stuff. Um I've changed it a little bit. So that, and I kind of got new deck sleeves here, these Dark Magician Girl ones that I wanted to show off, and I had to only got 50 of them, so I have to like conserve the deck down a little bit. So let's start off here with the monsters I pulled out. I pulled out Prior, mainly because Prior is a bad card. You have to normal summon Prior, and I dislike that kind of entirely. It's a waste of a normal summon when you could be summoning something better. So we took out Prior. If he was 4 stars, he would be okay, but he's 2 stars, so he's terrible. Um, also took out Dad's Princess because uh she is a giant Trunade, which you don't really need because you run three. I run three heavy Storm Dusters, so that's 9 cards to destroy already. You don't need more spell and trap card destruction. I replaced those 2 cards with 2 more speaker for the ice barriers, mainly because I overlooked this card, and it's a very good free special summon, basically level 4, and you're gonna have ice barriers, so it's a better card than I was thinking it was. I thought it was just bad because of its all the other effects, but the fact that it's a free special summon is better than these 2 cards. So I replaced those 2 cards with speaker, and yeah, that's about all the monsters I pulled out. They're all the same. If you want to know what kind of other monsters I'm running in this deck, go watch the first part. And yeah, just I took out Prior and Dance Ice Princess and replaced it with 2 more speakers because again, I overlooked how good that card is as a free special summon. It's pretty good. Moving on to spells and traps, I took out mainly I took out 2 and replaced 2. I took out 4 spells and traps, mainly because they were what making the deck slow. You would open a bunch of spells and traps that weren't really conducive with each other, and I was opening dead basically. So I took out Ice Bond because mainly because Ice Bond is a stall card, and it's not a very good stall card compared to Crackdown. I should have been running 3 Crackdown because whereas Ice Bond moves their special summon monster to defense position, that just steals it. So yeah, much better as terms of stall. I don't know what I was thinking, really. Ice Bond isn't a very good card. And I also took out 1 Magic Triangle, the Ice Barrier. So instead of 2, I only run 1, mainly because it was opening dead in my hand. You don't want to see 2 of these turn 1, because then there's no hope of actually getting to use it anytime soon. Um, Another card I took out was Freezing Mirror. I mean, Mirror the Ice Barrier. It's just a terrible card, and it's a good meme card, but ultimately useless because you're never going to actually chain off of it. And if you do, it'll be once in a blue moon. I also took out 1 Freezing Chains, mainly because the same thing with Triangle. You don't really need 2 of them because you can search with General Wayne, and that's either of these you could search with General Wayne. So if you need them, you should be searching General Wayne one of these 2 and not this Mirror of the Ice Fairy. So might as well just take those 2 out for consistency reasons. And like I said, you could go into either this or this with General Wayne's effect. You can find them and use them and combo off of it with it. So it's not totally terrible. It makes your hand not dead. So took those out. So right now the card number is 30 monsters, 20 spells and traps, 10 spells, 10 traps. So it's a lot more balanced with spells and traps now. It's not spell heavy and trap deficient like it was before. Crackdown is, yeah. Um, so in the monster lineup now is 8 tuners, 12 level 4 and lowers, and then I want to say 10 5 and higher, um level 5 and higher. Basically, another thing I wanted to just vaguely mention was talked about synchro summoning with Maloon Glacia, which would be an okay thing because its levels and stars are okay. But one thing you must remember is his effect. When it leaves the field, if this face up card leaves the field, skip the battle phase of the next turn. So only be using this as material if you want to end the game because you're not going to have a next battle phase basically. Um, this skip the battle phase of your next turn. So yeah, if you're gonna plan on having a next turn, don't be synchroing with this. Um, yeah, it was something else I accidentally came across playing this deck, being like, "Oh, I see, I lose." Gotcha. Because I just played too early. That's another thing. You have to be very careful when you play this deck because uh it's a very reactive kind of deck. You don't want to blow your synchros or too early, so to say. You want to be playing them right at the right time so you can end the game in OTK, which again, it's a little bit this is a little bit more consistent on how OTKs and a little better, not too much better because this deck is garbage, but I love it. I love this deck and it's pretty fun to play. So, thank you. I will be seeing you guys another time. I hope you liked my new deck sleeves and my new deck mat lady. She is very nice and this is where I'm signing off. Have a nice day, guys.